Kurth with the Better Together Realty Group. We are powered by eXp, and we are your local experts. We are right here in Ellis County. Our office is in Midlothian, and we are here to serve you with all of your real estate needs. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or maybe an empty nester or anywhere in between, we can help you with the purchase and the sale of any property. And we also help investors grow their portfolios as well as manage their properties for them. So we are truly full-service real estate right here in Ellis County. We would love to help serve you or anyone that you know reach their home goals. You can reach my whole team at 972-246-8297. You can call or text that number. You can always email us at team@bettertogetherrg.com, or you can stop by our office right here in Midlothian.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Bush with Mid-America Mortgage Southwest here in Midlothian. Whether you are purchasing a home or refinancing, we are here to help you every step of the way. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or you've done the purchasing process multiple times before, we treat our customers like family here at Mid-America Mortgage Southwest, and we will walk you through every step of the way to make this transaction as smooth as possible. You can reach me at 214-598-7839 or send an email to kbush@mamsw.com.
Okay, hey, welcome to this week's episode of Keeping It Real with Kent. We're going to have a very interesting show today. We're going to talk about statistics a little bit in Ellis County and let you guys know what's really going on out there so you can be the informed consumer instead of the one that just believes everything they see on the media, because that's not always the truth. So today we're going to go over some statistics and what's going on in each part of our county. We'll hit Midlothian, Waxahachie, and Red Oak today, and then possibly we won't be here next week because it's Thanksgiving, but we'll do a little short piece for you guys to talk about. But then the following week we'll come in and we'll hit some of the more rural areas, the Maypearls, the Grandviews, the things like that, so you guys know what's really going on in our county. You know, one of the things I want you to think about right now, we're getting to the end of the year, right? It's November. You guys have had a really great year out there, as most consumers have and most people have. And so now it might be a little bit of that time where you think, what could I do? How could I invest some of my money? What would be a good idea from a real estate standpoint? So let's talk about that and let's think about it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in and look at the average sales price, right? So the average sales price is going to be starting back in 2019. The average sales price in Ellis County was $265,900. All right, so that's pretty good. It moved up in 2020 to about $200,907, and now it is up to $350,000. Okay, so you think about that from an investment standpoint. I've helped people for years and years and years look into the market and how do I use the real estate market to make money in my life for long-term goals that we have out there. And and people always want to buy that $100,000 house and flip it. Okay, guys, that makes no sense. If you bought a house in 2019 for $265,000, it is now worth $350,000. That's $90,000 profit in less than 3 years. Okay, let's make that make sense to us, right? I promise you, there are no stocks, there are no 401ks, there's nothing out there that is going to give you that return on your money. It's just not going to happen. And if you do it properly and put it into a rental fleet, you're also going to earn that rental money and income over time while you build that equity in that house. Real estate is an investment. It's not going away. It's the same. It's there every year. It's gonna increase in value. Even if you hold it and somebody says the bubble, which there is no bubble, don't misunderstand that, but you're going to hear that word out there all the time. Even if the bubble breaks, if I've gone from $260,000 to $350,000, all right, even if it drops, I'm still going to be $50,000 to $60,000 ahead, all right? So that makes sense from an investment standpoint. Now, I know you come in and say, Kent, I don't have $265,000. I get it. There's people out there that can help you go through that. We'll have a whole segment on that at one time as we move forward. But guys, the investment is real estate. Quit being fooled by all these commercials and things you see about people saying buy into the stock market. I'm just telling you, There's no better investment in the market than what it is today. So average sales price right now in Ellis County is $350,000. Okay, in Midlothian, its average is $335,000. In Waxahachie, it's also $335,000, and then in Ennis, it's about in Red Oak, it's about $290,000. All right, so those are pretty good numbers, right? So that's way up from where it's been in the past. So the next thing we're going to go in and just kind of look at a little bit about, how many days does a house like that sit on the market? So you're out there looking for homes and you want to get into the investment piece of it and you want to go out there and do it. The average days on market back in 2019, which was one of the best years in the history of real estate, by the way, just so you know that. The average days on market was about 34 days, right? Then when you moved into like 2020, it started dropping because the inventory went down. People quit selling. They started sitting in their house. Pandemic had a little bit to do with that. People didn't know where to go or what to do, so we get that. So it dropped down to an average in the county of about 16 days, right? After that, we go into 2021, which, by the way, will be the best year in the history of real estate ever, okay? Now, that's crazy because there's no inventory. But we still sold more houses and earned more money in this year than any other year we've ever done in North Texas. Okay, that's just the reality of it. Average days on the market right now in Ellis County is 11 days. Okay, so what does that tell us, right? So when you're taking the average of anything, right, it's the low and it's the high. We put it together and we divide. Simple as that, right? Right, so there's some things out there that sit for a long time. We get it. They're in bad shape, whatever the situation may be. But most of the stuff we have right now is off the market in a matter of minutes. Okay, I'm not talking about days. I'm talking about minutes, right? And that's just the reality of it. So what I want you guys to do is start thinking about, if I'm going to get into this market and I'm going to learn how to invest in this market, how do I do it, right? And I know a bunch of you believe that you don't need a realtor. I get it. I don't understand it, but I get it, all right? So let's make it clear that you need somebody out there that's watching this on a daily basis, minute by minute, to make sure that you're in the process if you want to be one of us and be a real estate investor, right? So go out there, find a great real estate agent that understands the market and that understands where to do it. If you don't know one, give me a call. I know a few. Okay, so let's think about that. So if I'm going to get into an investment, I'm in November. From a tax standpoint, right? November is the time that you want to get in. If we don't buy something this month, right? It's anywhere from a 30 to 45 day process to get you into and get that home purchased. We got to purchase it before December 31st. Right? Now you have a tax benefit that goes with that, right? And so now not only have you purchased a home and something that's going to build equity over a short period of time, but now you've created a tax benefit for yourself where you can lower that rate. So now you're putting more money back in your pocket on a daily basis, right, than anybody else you know, right? And I'm telling you guys, you got to think this thing through, One of the things that we've done is we've created an LLC within our family, right? And that's how we purchase the real estate, and we purchase it as a group, right? And and I get it. Not everybody has the ability to walk in and say, "I got an extra 20 grand to buy a spare house with," but 3 or 4 of you do, right? Don't let this thing slip away from you. Most of you know that I grew up here in Midlothian, been in Ellis County for well over 50 years. And I look out there at the things that I see sell, the pieces of property, the acreage that, that we could have got for so little money back 15, 20, 30 years ago that we just didn't do it, right? I'm telling you guys, don't let that happen to you now. Now's the time to move forward. So real estate is the place to be. There's no doubt that it's something that you want to be a part of, and you get that opportunity. Let's move forward. So I'm going to go into one more thing just to kind of let you understand kind of way this thing closes. Is how many houses actually closed at the price that they were sell for. All right. All right, and the reality of it is very few of them. So back in 2019, we were averaging about, if you listed a house, you would get about 98% of the sales price for it, right? So there was a little negotiation going on, not a whole lot, but a little, right? So we're getting 98%. In 2020, it jumped up almost to 99%, which is unheard of, right? And so in 2021, we were getting about 103% of the sales price, which means everything was selling for over what we were listing it for, okay? All right, that's crazy. That's just crazy. Now, that's the one thing I will say, we can't sustain that for a very long period of time, okay? That's going to go for a little while. You know, the influx of cash from other parts of the country coming in will eventually settle, and that will be back to where we can get that down. But here's what I'm going to tell you, is that, you know, don't think you're going to go out there and get some deal. You're not going to go negotiate. It's not going to happen, right? You got to go in with your best offer every time to get that house and get it into your pocket so it can go into your portfolio. So 5 years from now, when you look down, that investment is now that you put in $250,000 to $300,000 for is now worth $500,000. Okay, that's what we're looking to do, and that's you know, it's almost insane to think that kind of money sits around Ellis County. But it's here every day. We can go back and prove it over the last 5 years that property that we were buying for $150,000 is selling for $300,000 now. It's crazy, all right? So you think about that, and you think about the money that you can. What does something like that investment do for your life and your family? You know, I mean, it's huge. You know, and we all know that a home is most people's largest investment that they ever go into. But if you guys go out there and figure out how to put these groups together and come together and build, I'm not going to give you a whole lot of financial advice because that's not really my job. But but if you'll pull them together, there's some things that I would look up online. You might want to. I love the term. We GTS stuff. We Google that stuff, right? So go out there and Google it. You know, do your GTS on it and Google some things like real estate investment trust. You know, it's an interesting thing that you can figure out. You know, we have people right here in my office that can help you with that if you ever need that. But that's one of those things that you can do. You don't have to do this all by yourself. You know, I mean, you think about a 401k. I mean, I was just looking at some of the money that my wife and I put away for and what we're going to do with it over the years. You know, and the 401k is just flat. I mean, there's just nothing happening with it, you know, and that's crazy, you know. And so why am I taking that money when I know what I know about real estate and letting it sit there? It makes no sense, right? So that money will all be moved into real estate before the end of the year. I mean, it just makes no sense not to do that, right? You know. Now, 5 years from now, we may have this conversation again and go a different direction. But today, we're not, you know, because let's say I have $100,000 sitting in the bank in a 401k or an IRA or whatever. I get it. I'm going to have to pay a little penalty on the taxes to move it out there. But if I can put that into a home that in a matter of 2 to 3 years is going to increase in value by $100,000 to $150,000, amen. You know, what are we going to do? So think about it. And the place to buy right now is Ellis County. Let's just make that clear. You know, I'm a firm believer, if I'm going to put something into a rental fleet, I don't want it to be very far away. I don't want to chase stuff up in Collin County and Denton and all that, because if something goes wrong, because that's the bottom line, it's property, we're going to have to deal with it, right? I highly recommend property management. If you get into the rental business, let somebody else manage it, please. Please, please, please don't be tight. You know, you're going to make $150,000 when you sell it. Let somebody manage it so you don't have to deal with it. Because I can promise you this, if the hot water heater in the house goes out, it's going to go out on Christmas Eve. That's the bottom line, right? So let somebody else deal with that, right? Don't be stingy, all right? So put it into property management and start working on that fleet. Just think about it. Over the next 5 years, if you could just figure out how to purchase one home, all right? One home in Ellis County over the next 5 years, right? And we hold that for another 10 years, right? So at the end of 15 years, right, the value has increased on each one of those homes by in way in excess of $100,000. All right. So you're now sitting at $500,000 in the bank. How many people do you really know that have $500,000 sitting in the bank to be able to retire on? Yeah, it's just so that's and the thing about it is this is real. This is something you can do if you put your mind to it. You know, the problem is that we don't think about it. So kind of what I want to do with keeping it real today is keep it real, man. Go out there and find somebody. Go out there and pull the 4 or 5 guys together. I mean, even in 15 years, you only have an extra $200,000, and you split the other with the other. That's $200,000 you weren't going to have. You know, and I promise you, you may get lucky and buy Amazon stock when it was, at 6 cents a share, but I didn't. But here's what I know about real estate. I know it's going to go up every year. It's just going to happen. So let's keep it real. Let's go out there and get some real estate done. Let's have a really, really great end of the year. Do not let it get to the end of the year. Make sure you get it done in the next few weeks. If you have any questions about it, you can always contact me at my office. I'm simple to get a hold of, kentbush.com. Simple to send me an email. I'd love to help you get through this process. This is the future, guys. Real estate's the future. It's something that's been there forever. We've all known about it, but we've never really believed we could be a part of it. And I'm telling you, you guys can be a part of it if you'll just take the time to figure out that process. So let's keep it real, and let's go get in the real estate business.